What's up, gang? It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. If you are someone who hates technology, algorithms, SEO, all the things you're supposed to do to appease the technology and Facebook gods, then you are in the right place, because I also hate those things. And we don't have to be left behind in marketing. We actually have an advantage in marketing, and that is our emotional quotient, our emotional intelligence, our empathy. And because we know how to make a connection with people as a human, that's actually what people are looking for right now. That's our advantage. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And today I want to talk about your programs. A lot of what I teach is how do you create online programs so that you can further your important work in the world. I mean, I'm all about, if you want to do in-person stuff, that's great. And that should be a premium offer that you offer, right? A premium service that you offer. But there's something about doing group programs online that make it more scalable. It makes you can reach more people with less hours and effort. And it does not mean, here's the thing, check your baggage at the door, right? Because it doesn't mean that those group programs online, your group program online, is less effective. I think sometimes we have it that, oh, well, I only do stuff in person because I'm more effective that way. It doesn't actually have to be that way. That is a story you've created that is limiting your growth. It's limiting how many people you can reach, especially in a quarantine, especially like in this time, at the time of this recording, we are quarantined. That might lift soon, I don't know. But it doesn't matter, quarantine or not, that is a story, that is a lid on your growth. So if you have that, you need to let that go. Okay, that being said, let's look at what I teach people is to sequence your programs. So you're going to create a program, a first program, a program that where everybody needs to start with you, because that first program is what creates alignment. It's what creates the fit. In other words, people will come through that first program, and if they make it through, they're a better fit than if they quit, or they're a better fit than if they're somebody who never came through in the first place. And then if they can make it through a second program, they're an even better fit. And by the third program, and I teach a 3-program approach, by the third program, if they've made it through to the third program, they're a great fit, and they're ready to do the actual work of expansion and transformation and growth and all that stuff. But your first 2 programs really need to be designed to give them the foundation of what they need in mindsets and skill sets to actually go the distance. See, some of you, all of you, I think, are you have important work. You're interested in transformation. You want to help people transform, and the thing about transformation is that it takes time. Transformation happens in process, and so a 4-week program, a 6-week program, an 8-week program, that's great, and there's some time involved in that. But when you really look at the kind of transformation you want to make with people, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than 4 weeks. And so here's what you've got to get. Everybody is on their journey, right? So let's just make this circle as their journey of life. And they come and work with you in one program, and their journey's not over. And as they graduate your first program, guess what? While they have received value and they have grown as a person in mindsets and skill sets, now they have a new set of problems, don't they? They have a new set of problems, right? So you, if you're smart, can start to think about, how do I support these people with what's next? And you build a program around that, okay? And then as they come through that program, right, they're going to expand even more with their mindsets and skill sets. And there's going to be a new way to support them. Do you see how the sequencing of programs all of a sudden starts to it creates better predictable cash flow for you, because people will continue through your programs. Why? Because you've set it up in such a way that it supports them. And if they don't want to continue, they won't. And those who see the value in the support will. But that's part of the value to you. Now, part of the value to them is that I know it's hard to find someone that you trust, a leader, a coach, a guide that you trust. And so if you do a good job of fulfillment in your first program and they trust you. You're like, dude, I like how you see me. I like how you are leading me. I, as the participant, would rather continue on with you, because if I've been in this game long enough, I know how hard it is to find someone I trust. It's so hard to find, especially online, it's so hard to find someone online with an online program that gives me so much value and support. But if you, the program creator, haven't sequenced, haven't thought ahead of me and my journey and what's next for me, and you haven't built a program for me, what happens is I'm going to outgrow you. I'm going to outgrow you. I'll come through your program. I'll be like, man, that was amazing. Thank you for all that. Like, I'm ready for what's next. And you're like, well, I don't have what's next. I'm like, wow, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty for more because you've awakened something in me. And so now I'm ready to go take that on. I mean, you don't have a way to support me in that. I'm not going to stop my growth and my life expansion because you don't have a program. I'm going to go try as hard as I can to find someone else who can take me to the next level. I would rather it be you, because you have led me effectively to this point. So can you see that you're leaving massive amounts of money on the table because you haven't sequenced programs for the people you spent so much time and effort building trust with? You have a design flaw in your programs. So this is an important thing to begin to dive into, because you can start to see that so many of you are in this constant state of having to hunt and gather for more business, because you haven't sequenced future programs to support the people who already trust you. What would be next for them? How could you support them with what's next? And it might look different than what you offer now. But I love this. Seth Godin says, don't find people for your programs. Find programs for your people. Do you hear me? Don't find people for your programs. In other words, don't in a vacuum just go create a bunch of programs for, online programs and then say, hey, everybody, I got some programs. Do you want them? No, find your people. You already have people, and then say, okay, I have these people. What would support them in their current set of problems? What could I create that would support them in their expansion? So that's the game, gang. When you get as much as this show is about marketing and how do you be relevant and authentic in your marketing, what is marketing for? It's designed to find and attract the people who we can support through our services and our programs. And so all of this marketing is done in the spirit of and in the heart of supporting people. But if you just go do a bunch of Facebook Lives or video posts and share them all the places, but you have no way to fulfill the things you talk about in your marketing, you have no program and structure to fulfill the promises that you're making for people, then what's it all for? And this is exactly what my 8-week program, my second program called The Fetch, that's what this does. It goes in and it starts with program design. How do you design programs and sequence your programs along the journey of your people? How do you price your programs, right? How do you fulfill in your programs? How do you then find people for your programs? How do you funnel people into your programs? That is my second program. But before we can get there, you actually have to know what your work is about. What is the conversation you're leading? And for most of you, it goes much deeper than what you already think. Most of you are too attached to the service of what you do, and you're missing the bigger conversation of what that's all about. So if you're a coach, for example, you might talk about how you coach people a certain way. You're missing the bigger transformational conversation. Some of you are healers. You might be a massage therapist, and you're too attached to the fact that you do massage. You're too identified with the practice of it and not connected enough to the bigger conversation of health and wellness of it. And once you get connected in your marketing to the bigger conversation, that's how you can start to see beyond your practice to the sequence of programs and distinctions that people need in their expansion. So if you would like help designing programs and you'd like help connecting to this bigger conversation, my first program, the Groundswell Method Intensive, is designed to get you in touch with that message, posting in that message, and you graduate that first program with your own show in the world, your own podcast. That's how you graduate that program, is by launching your own podcast. Okay. Now, once you do that, you're now eligible for the second program. And in the second program, we actually go through designing and launching your first program in your sequence of programs. So by the end of that second program, you're actually now bringing people into the program who are paying you money for the service. So there should be a return on, if you're doing the work, there should be a return on investment by the end of that second program. But I can't walk you through what that second program entails until you get really clear about and passionate about the message you're here to lead. And so that is what the first program is all about. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the text of this post. Thanks for hanging out with me in this episode. Until tomorrow, here's to you sequencing your programs for the growth and expansion of your people.